I would like to talk about lupus. Guys, find a good doctor. Because I feel like they're few and far between. I had a really good doctor, like 10 years ago. But the last doctor I had was so hands-off. I'm so tempted to call and be like, hey, stupid. 'Cause here's the thing. For years, I have had so many symptoms, and wondered what the hell is wrong. Multiple symptoms, random. And I was quiet about it because I was this would sound crazy if I told someone, every day something different. Today I have joint pain. Tomorrow I'm fatigued. The next day I'm losing a bunch of hair. The weirdest, most random symptoms. And I was no one is gonna believe this. I'm gonna look crazy. So, which is terrible. And this is why I wanted to talk about it. I'm gonna become a lupus advocate, lupus awareness advocate. It's also, so many people with lupus will go their whole life. The high majority of people with lupus go their whole life without knowing or being diagnosed. So, that's sad. I think more awareness needs to be brought to that, and people, just from the experience I've had, I'm dude, people need to know, hey, if you feel like a hypochondriac, you're having a million symptoms, you might have an autoimmune disease. Why don't people say that more? Why don't doctors say that more? Autoimmune diseases are common, and they cause weird-ass symptoms, and then there's not enough, awareness around it for people to feel normal expressing, hey, I have a bunch of weird symptoms, and I don't have a cold, I don't have the flu, I don't have cancer, but I feel like shit often, and it's different every day, almost. I remember telling Ethan that years ago, subtly though, because I didn't want to look crazy, but I was it feels like a different problem every day. And then some days nothing. And sometimes I'll go weeks with nothing. And I'm oh cool, I have energy, and it's normal. Anyway, back to what I was gonna say what was I gonna say? Oh, I was gonna say, I had so for 10 years, I've had symptoms. Weird, abnormal, what in the world? Why do I feel this way? Things. And I have gone to so many doctors, all different types too, totally naturopathic doctors, holistic doctors, Western, doctors that only believe in medication, so many doctors, probably 7, which is a lot to me. And nobody, this is just what I want to make known, because it's infuriating. Not one of those doctors suggested that I might have an autoimmune disease. None of them. In fact, 3 that I can remember just attributed it to anxiety or stress, which stress does make lupus flare. So anyway, almost all the doctors were oh, you have a really stressful lifestyle, and this and that and the other, and then one of them or 2 thought I might be a hypochondriac, and I was Cool. Like, that's really nice to hear. I'm being sarcastic. Like, that's really great to hear that. You might as well just, it's like screaming in a dream. You know, in your nightmares when you're screaming and you're not screaming, that's how it feels. And then for a doctor to be like, well, you might be a hypochondriac. It's like, do you think I'm stupid? Like, I have lived in my body my whole life. I know what my body should feel like, and I know how I've felt before. And I feel weird, okay? And when I say that, I don't want someone going, maybe you're crazy. It's like, no, I'm not. I'm like extremely grounded. Extremely grounded. I'm not crazy. These symptoms are. Like, I don't just wake up and go, oh no, I have joint pain. It's like, I'm not a hypochondriac. I have actual joint pain. It was on blood tests that I had chronic inflammation with multiple doctors. And they're just like, which is infuriating. And I'm going to blast this on YouTube. I'm probably going to put this on YouTube because it's not fair. It's not fair for doctors to just, well, you look really healthy. You're young. That's what my last doctor said. I had blood in my urine multiple times, like 4 or 5 or 6 times. Told my doctor. And he did nothing. He was like, okay, let's get an ultrasound. He did do something. He got an ultrasound. And then he tested my kidneys. I got a kidney ultrasound. They didn't ever really tell me anything about that. And then the blood work I got done with my kidneys was that it came back like they were operating like a 90-year-old. And all my doctor said was like, well, I mean, those can be off sometimes if you're dehydrated. You're really young and healthy. And I was like, pardon? I don't think young and healthy people have blood in their pee. So how can you just brush that off like dehydration? You don't pee blood when you're dehydrated. God. And my liver markers are off the charts. And inflammation off the charts, like with many doctors. Okay, I'm going to end this now by saying this. With the doctor that I had last, he did not do anything helpful with anything I brought to him. And I finally, this is how I found out that I had lupus. I went, you know what? I'm going to pay for my own test, and thank God for LabCorp, because you can do that. So, Black Friday sale, I was like, I am getting all these tests, antibody tests. Like, I had Googled so much and read so much about symptoms, I was like, I have to have an autoimmune disease. I don't know if I have rheumatoid or what it is, Hashimoto's, because my grandma has Hashimoto's, my cousin has rheumatoid. So I looked up what tests I need to look at all of those, and I paid for them, like out of pocket. Just paid for my own damn tests because my doctor won't do anything. And it's so frustrating and stupid. Like, why don't doctors do their job? I don't know. But it's going to take a miracle for me to believe that a doctor will actually do their job. Because for 10 years, I went, they brushed things off. It's like one of them thought I had Lyme disease. He's like, I think you have Lyme and Hashimoto's. And I was like, you think? Like, why can't you just order an antibody test? Is that against your rules to figure out what's wrong? It's like that. I think doctors' rules say it's against the rules to figure out what is actually going on. And I'm probably right, because Big Pharma, they make so much money off of pills, and they don't make money if you're healthy. So that's a fact. It's not a political stance. It's a fact. And anyway, getting a little heated here. So I bought the tests I wanted and needed on Black Friday sale, and I got them done, and they came back. Guess how they came back? Positive for antibodies. I don't know the technical terms. So I sent that to my doctor in kind of a stubborn, hey, so all these things I've been telling you for years, I did my own blood work. I did your job for you. So here you go. Like, sent that right over. It's like, there. That's what you couldn't do. See the positivity on that test? Figure it out, doctor. And he goes, oh, we'll send you to a rheumatologist. I was like, thank you. Thank you for that. So mad. So stupid. So anyway, the rheumatologist I went to was amazing. An Indian lady. I love Indian doctors. They are so, like, if I get a doctor again, I'm going to purposely pick an Indian doctor because they figure shit out. Like, they want to. They like their job. They're like, what's wrong? What's wrong with you? What are you feeling? And it's like, then you tell them everything and they go, it could be this or that or this or that. Let's check for everything. And I'm like, thank you. So that's exactly what she did. She was like, you have an autoimmune disease. Let's narrow it down to which one. And she ordered like 15 tests. I got 13 vials of blood drawn. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you for doing your job. Dang it. Like, 13 vials of blood. And after that, we ruled all the other ones out, and she said it was lupus. Ta-da! How hard is that? Why is that so hard? So, for any doctors watching, if a patient says, I have a bunch of weird symptoms, your first line of action should be, let's check for autoimmune diseases. And then stop dancing around the bush and just order like 25 tests or whatever. Like, I don't know why that is so hard. I don't know why it took 10 years for a doctor to just believe me and go, oh crap, that sounds like you might have an autoimmune disease. And then check for it. Oh my gosh, I had to order my own test. Stupid. And pay out of pocket. Like my own money. It's like $700 to figure that out. Oh. So there's my lupus awareness rant. Thanks for listening.